Morning, everyone. We're going to begin our open session. Tony, would you like to call the roll, please?
Jimenez, Torres, Cohen,
Here.
Ortiz,
Present.
Davis, Doan,
Present.
Candelas,
Here.
Foley,
Here.
Batra,
Present.
Kamei,
Here.
Mahan.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, if you are able, please join me and rise to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Great. We do not have an invocation or any ceremonial items today. On to orders of the day. Does anyone on the council have any changes to the printed agenda? No? Okay.
I believe we are postponing the adjournment.
We are postponing the adjournment. Okay. And do we need a motion for that to adopt the orders of the day? Yes, we do. May I have a motion?
Move approval. Second.
Great. Thank you. And do we take public comment on orders of the day?
I'll see if we have any.
If we have
no
any.
hands up.
Great. Let's vote.
Jimenez, Torres, Cohen,
Aye.
Ortiz,
Aye.
Doan,
Aye.
Candelas,
Aye.
Foley,
Aye.
Batra,
Aye.
Kamei,
Aye.
Mahan.
Aye.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Okay, let's go into the closed session report. And Nora, do we have anything?
Thank you, Mayor. We do not have a report out of closed session today.
Thanks, Nora. We're on to the consent calendar. Are there any items that the council would like to pull from consent today? Okay, can we get a
Move
motion?
approval of consent.
Second.
Great, thank you. Do we have public comment?
No.
Great, let's vote.
Torres, Cohen,
Aye.
Ortiz,
Aye.
Doan,
Aye.
Candelas,
Aye.
Foley,
Aye.
Batra,
Aye.
Kamei,
Aye.
Mahan.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're moving right along. Item 3.1, report of the city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. I have no report today.
Great, thank you. Okay, item 3.3 pertains to council appointments for standing committees, boards, and commissions. Let me just offer a couple of notes on this, and then we will go to public comment. So we are filling vacancies that we intentionally created the first time around because we were still going to be seating our council members for District 8 and 10, which we have now done. Welcome again. We wanted to make sure that we had an equitable, to the extent possible, an equitable distribution of assignments. So we had held a number of vacancies. We also, for Brown Act purposes, needed our standing committees to only have 4 members each. As is the standard practice, the slot left open on rules was held for Vice Mayor Kamei, as is our standard practice. So that is my recommendation. And we also are removing Councilmember Torres from TPAC per his request, given a scheduling conflict. We also had the Veterans Affairs spot open and wanted to see wanted to get stakeholder input on that. Councilmember Doan will do a fantastic job there, and I know our Veterans Affairs groups are happy about that suggestion. And I think that, there's a final item I just want to call folks' attention to, which is the Youth Empowerment Alliance. And because it's such an important committee, we are recommending that we create an alternate role. And I'd like to appoint Vice Mayor Kamei to that role in case someone is absent. She can fill in, assuming she's appointed there. So I think those are the primary notes here. There was a blue memo that, unfortunately, because this was only agendized for appointments and the requested change from Councilmember Torres, we will have to take up at a different time. So we can work together to do that. And I think those are all of my notes. So I think we should go to public comment and then come back for any council discussion.
I have no hands.
Okay, so we're back to the council. Let me see here if we have hands. And I believe Councilmember Foley, is your hand up currently, or was that previous? Okay, on to you.
Before I make a motion, just a clarifying question for you, Mayor. You said something about the blue memo. Is that the one from Councilmember Ortiz that we're not able to adopt
Correct.
today?
That was not agendized, so we can't make that change today. Nora, do you want to explain? We can
But
pick
isn't
it up.
it part of the commissions or any, I mean, why, since that's what we're doing, why can't we do this? That's my question.
And the agenda is set up for Exhibit A and Exhibit B of the mayor's memo. The other appointments were already made, so we can bring it forward, but it's just the council committees, and Exhibit B is a number of committees, mostly outside of the city, that are subject to the council's consideration today because of the way it's agendized.
So are you saying, okay, that I don't understand that, and I'm not sure I actually even agree with that, Nora, because we're approving the mayor's recommendations for Exhibit B, but there may be council appointments that are regional boards that maybe aren't specifically listed here, but it's still part of the process, and it doesn't affect our ability to be productive and contributing. The reason I bring it up is one, Councilmember Ortiz's memo, but also I was going to offer I'm going to make the motion, and when I make it, I was going to include removing myself as the liaison to, or as the commissioner to the Valley Water Commission, and appointing Councilmember Candeas first to that place, given his background with Valley Water. So can I not do that?
That's not on
not
Exhibit B.
agendized.
It's not agendized.
One thing I just recommend is that because per the charter, I'm supposed to be bringing forward appointments. If folks want to, I would encourage folks to reach out in advance so that I can work to incorporate that into what I'm bringing forward. Unfortunately, the interpretation we have right now is that because it wasn't agendized, we can't act on it. So we'll need to do a third round here, it sounds like, according
Can I
to
just ask a
Nora.
clarifying question on that agendized item? The subject says city council appointees of committees and boards. It's not necessarily specific to the list on A and B. I was confused because it seems like that the agenda item itself is about appointments to committees and boards. And that, yes, there's exhibits in the memo, but the memo is more of a specific, and that the agenda item is broader than
The
that.
title is broader, but the actual agenda language is discuss and or approve the mayor's appointments as described in Exhibit A. And then the second item refers to Exhibit B only and not the broad appointments. And so arguably, the public wouldn't be aware that the council was trying to redo what it had done previously or add to what it had done previously.
Okay, well, all right. And the whole purpose for my item wasn't to bypass Mayor, your process at all.
Yeah.
It's really,
Understood.
it's,
Yeah.
it's,
I'm as
it's
frustrated with the
agnostic to- yeah.
process as anybody.
Yeah.
What I just say though, since we will do one more round, is anybody who needs a change or whatever it is, please just reach out.
Okay.
I can have a one-way conversation with each of you about appointments. If you want to trade with someone, let me know, and we will put together an omnibus and come back through rules or whatever we need to do with a final round.
May not.
Good enough. Then I will move the mayor's memo. I will move Councilmember Cohen's memo, and I will move the city attorney's memo as well. I am not moving Councilmember Ortiz and, Ortiz and Peter, sorry. I did it backwards. I did do it because it's already incorporated into the mayor's memo. So, and with that, I move. Sorry to confuse everybody.
Second. Great, and we have a second. Do we have any other? Oh, I see Councilor Cohen. Did you have your hand up?
I did. I had assumed that my memo actually would also not be allowed based on this. I mean, I don't want it to, I don't want it to disqualify it, but mine was about the Bosco board, which isn't in your Exhibit B also. So we probably have to leave that out as well. And so I guess my question would, my comment will be that I think we can just add it to next week's council agenda through tomorrow's rules without a rules memo, and then just have a memo at the end of the week as we did for all the things that were already on other memos, and then anyone else who talks to you as an aside.
Okay, so I will remove Councilmember Cohen's memo from my motion.
Is that okay with the seconder? Thank you. Which one of you is the seconder? I have two people saying yes. All right, we'll give it to Bacha. All right, Councilmember Bacha. Great. Okay, and we will put together a final update for one last round here after we take this action.
Confuse everybody.
It's all good. Okay, I'm glad we had a short agenda today. We've managed to complicate this item enough. I don't see any other hands up, so why don't we vote?
Torres?
Aye.
Cohen?
Aye.
Ortiz?
Aye.
Davis?
Yes.
Doan?
Aye.
Candelas?
Aye.
Foley?
Aye.
Batra?
Aye.
Kamei?
Aye.
Mahan?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. We are on to open forum.
First, we have Kay. If you make your way down to the podium, you have 1 minute to speak.
2 minutes.
Or 2 minutes.
And then call the other names too.
City Council members for allowing me 2 minutes. As a taxpayer and resident of West San Jose, I put my faith in the San Jose Animal Care Center and those who manage it. All of these things I'm hearing about are distressing. Not feeding the dogs enough, not walking dogs, not cleaning their kennels, firing volunteers, and no transparency or communication with volunteers. And I wouldn't even know about these things if I didn't have friends in rescue. The San Jose Animal Care Center has a simple but impactful mission: get animals off the street, provide care for the medically needy ones, get animals adopted or off to rescue, and provide a low-cost spay and neuter program for TNR as well as residents of cities served by SJACC. I don't understand why these things can't be accomplished. Perhaps those who manage or in leadership have no compassion for animals that is necessary for those kinds of positions. If that is the case, put the right people in. To address the lack of transparency, they need to have check-in meetings and with volunteers. Let the volunteers know which animals have been adopted and which ones have, in the worst case, been euthanized. Volunteers are gold, and they should be made to feel that way. Best Friends Animal Sanctuary in Utah has a nationwide program called No More Homeless Pets by 2025. We aren't even close to that in San Jose, and it is shameful. Due to the lack of low-cost spay and neuter for TNR, the next kitten season will be a bad one. We have many trappers in San Jose who are willing to give their time to TNR feral cats. It is thankless work, but it's critical for kitten population control. Due to the lack of low-cost spay and neuter.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for the time.
Next, we have Jennifer Flick, and followed by Anna.
The second speaker, go ahead and line up.
Okay, sorry, I'm really nervous. Dear Mayor, Mahan, and council members, my name is Jennifer Flick. I'm speaking today about the City of San Jose Animal Care and Services. I'm a current and years-long volunteer. I attended most of last year's budget meeting and raised my voice for the animals and let them know that the shelter needed help. The volunteer team was very concerned about animals' care and being warehoused. Thank you for budget increases. Yet again, today I'm here because the volunteer team is still very concerned about the animals in care. Volunteers are finding rooms of dogs without water, filthy kennels, dogs in the back that often have a thin towel, often fouled. I'm going to rattle off some numbers. These are taken from your website yesterday. There are currently 191 dogs at the shelter. 100 of them get walked about every other day. There are not enough dog walkers, but just last week, shelter managers released a dedicated volunteer from her service without explanation and escorted her from the property like a criminal. The dogs need every devoted volunteer possible, so this action is astounding and devastating. Maddie's Fund recommends dogs be moved out of shelter environments as quickly as possible within 2 weeks, yet we have dogs that have been there for months. When they inevitably begin to decline, they're at risk of being euthanized like Goofy was in December and Lobo would be tomorrow. Volunteers submitted a video link for Lobo in the comments so you can see him. The shelter does not have anyone on staff that's certified in animal behavior, yet they are condemning animals to die for behavior issues. They make excuses and are refusing to get certification or hire someone. I'm also concerned, I have data for the last decade. This year, the shelter has the highest budget. However, live release rate is the lowest it's been since 2014. A management shift brought about change that brought the shelter to no-kill status in 2016. You are currently not. You are down to 87% and no longer no-kill status. You're also the lowest of any shelter in the county. Intake numbers are on track to take in only 8,700 animals this fiscal year. This is half of what the previous decade's worth of data shows. Even during COVID, they took in 14,000 animals. This drop in intake is especially concerning because the shelter is always full and turning people
Thank
away.
you.
Why?
In past years, SJAC's teams has worked closely with local rescues. This is not the case today and deteriorating drastically. The needs rescue email that is sent out to a list of rescue has not been updated and is inconsistent and will not go out and did not go out the entire month of January. And when it does go out, it's not every day. The animals are only in a few of the large numbers of the shelter, and several are listed in the needs rescue aren't even showing up as being in the shelter. There are puppies on that list since December that do not have an active pet harbor link. The link is inaccurate and does not include much information. Rescues emailing into the ask about particular emails are often do not receive a reply back. Medical information is no longer being included in kennel cards or in information to the rescues. Why is the vet staff not transparent about the condition assessment treatment plans for outcomes of the animals? Volunteers no longer have access to this data either. Everything that has done in the email request is physically going into the rescue, to SJACs. Why are rescues not being reached out to? Does the shelter even have a current list of rescues to reach out to? The number of animals being placed at this list has plummeted. There are 76 cats at the shelter, only 20 of which were fixed and available for adoption. 0 are on the needs rescue list and having medical needs. 2 are in the needs rescue list and semi-feral, which is a behavior listing. Where are the other 54? It is impossible to think that not one cat could use rescue and get the additional care provided in a rescue, especially since many of the rescues work with medically needy animals. There is a cat medical room at the shelter that is full. Why are they all staying there with no outreach occurring? People bringing in stray animals are turned away daily, often with no picture, no microchip scanned, or found animal report occurring. If this was your pet that got lost, how would you think that would be handled? People sent off to release the animal. How many of these will be set free or given away on Craigslist? This is a common practice. This is an increasing problem, and the shelter has no data
Thank
about
you.
how many. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Blair Beekman.
Foot and try to get a emergency order.
Hi, Blair Beekman, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thanks. Yeah, I just wanted to quickly offer just a hi to everyone. Thanks for the 11 a.m. meeting. Seemed to have gone okay today. There's a real importance to be considering the issues of the Ukraine at this time. I think we can really negotiate concepts of peace before war. And we can do that work now that I think we're all understanding the importance of that there has to be dialogue about a future of an East and West Ukraine. And we have to acknowledge that and be open to that conversation. And I think we're going to have the same conversation in 2 to 3 years of continuously supporting Ukraine freedom fighters. It seems that way. Why don't we start a peace negotiation process now? With that said, there's also a really important Santa Clara County budget meeting going on the Board of Supervisors about the future of the hybrid meeting process. At this moment, if you want to go to and add your 2 cents about saving all the future of hybrid meetings and not cutting the majority of board and commission hybrid meetings in the future. a full hybrid process seems important to ourselves, important learning lesson for ourselves in this era post-COVID. I hope you can attend and want these sort of practices for our future. Thanks for your time.
Annie, followed by Louise.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is Ani. I'm concerned that the San Jose Animal Care Center will start euthanizing animals for space. I would like to request an unannounced visit and an audit. Deputy Director Jay Torado and his management team are ineffective and incompetent. There's no plan or vision to network and get dogs adopted to reduce the shelter numbers, which is full to the brim. Volunteers voicing concerns and asking tough questions are terminated without cause by Aaron Cezanne, the public information representative, who is unprofessional and disrespectful of volunteers and their efforts. Unpaid volunteers are carrying the burden. Recently hired volunteer coordinator has no animal experience and minimum presence with the challenges. The rescue coordination team has minimal relationship with the rescues and there is no visible outreach. There is no behavior consultant and dogs are not being approached using positive methods, causing an increase of staff getting bit in recent months. Volunteers carry treats and approach the dogs positively, increasing the comfort level of dogs with them versus staff. Dogs are being kept in the back for months without being assessed, walked, health checked, or altered. Horrendous living conditions for dogs in the back. Kennels are covered in poop. Some dogs have nothing but a single urine and excrement covered towel to lay on. Their water bowls are empty for hours. Sometimes when you walk into the building, the smell of poop is so pronounced in the lobby and the bathrooms, it's hard to breathe. Many dogs do not see the light of day even though they've been there for months and they're languishing. Please hold the shelter management accountable for mismanagement and suffering of animals. Thank you.
Louise, followed by Paul.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, hi. Thank you for your time. I am calling regarding the San Jose Animal Care. My bullet points here. They will not come out, animal control won't come out only if an animal is injured or attack in progress. Therefore, when people are calling like the platform over by Berryessa complex, they found 2 dogs and they were told to release them back where they were found. So either that or house the animal for 72 hours, but that apartment complex cannot do so. This does not help people getting reunited with their pets, which brings me to my next point. There needs to be a campaign of reminding people that to abandon a pet is against the law. People, I believe, are just setting their animals. I know this is just not a San Jose problem, but it's a Bay Area problem. They're letting them loose on the streets. Also, dead animal pickup is taking 2 to 3 weeks. I know nobody wants to have a dead animal rotting in front of their driveway. I have bagged and driven them myself to animal care, and at least maybe they can get scanned for a chip and a family can have closure. I'm asking that the fairgrounds be open up that space for overflow if the shelter is full. We need to come together, and it's not rocket science. We need to put our heads together here. Hire vet techs to oversee the overflow. Bring back the spay and neuter service and the TNR neuter release program. If you hear our voices cracking, all of us here, it's because we are passionate about the animals, and we're a forward city, and it appears that our
Paul?
Yeah, Paul Soto from the Horseshoe. I want to talk about equity in the arts. I've been going to the arts commissions for probably about 3 years now, and there is no policy, absolutely no policy that the city has in place to ensure that equitable treatment and allocation of the resources that both the Arts Commission, Office of Cultural Affairs, and all of these downtown businesses and all this development money that comes into the city that Chicanos have access to. Now, Chicanos is a community. There is a Chicano community in the city of San Jose that is not related to the immigrant community. We are not immigrants. We are Chicanos, which means our parents and our parents' parents and our parents' 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 parents were all American citizens before this city became a part of the United States. So let me give you an example. There's a couple of artists that I have right now that want to do some murals. They want to do some murals, and they want to do murals of nothing but Chicanas, all Chicanas from the 1960s, to elevate our women, because it is only men that have been honored in this city. You know, men and might. But what I want to do is I want to work with the community in order to create murals that reflect all the Chicanas from the 1960s that fought and made it possible for there to be 10 districts in this city, and for the east side and for the west side and for all of these other spaces to have representation on this council. That's all I want to do. I don't want one dime out of it, not a penny. But I want to make sure that these young artists, one of which is a woman, want to make sure that these artists have access to this. And this is an equity issue, because the arts has become too elitist, and we need to start allowing some Chicanos and some women access to those.
Back to the council.
Thank you, and I want to thank the members of the public who came out to speak today, particularly on the Animal Care Center, and just appreciate you highlighting your concerns and questions, and I want to assure you our city manager is very focused on this issue, and so I want to just state that. We don't typically get into back and forth through open forum, but I do appreciate you coming in and taking the time to be here, so thank you. And with that, I believe we are adjourned. Thank you.